to the Indie Author Life Show. My name is MG Hunt, and today I'm here with a fantastic indie author whose next romance novel is about to take flight. Welcome to the show, Kate Louise. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Kate.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and chat to you.
I am so excited to chat to you as well because, look, I have been a little bit of a stalker and I have been watching all that I can and listening all that I can to the Grumpy Sunshine podcast. So shout out to the Grumpy Sunshine podcast, which is run by Kate Louise herself and Laura as well from Hummingbird Editing, who we have had on the show a couple of months back too. So there will have to be a time where we get both of you together and we do like a crossover.
I know. I would love to do that. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be good. But thank you for the plug for the pod.
Of course, everyone needs to check it out because I really enjoy how you girls get really into some specific topics related to the writing life. So even just like how to choose an editor, I think was one of the episodes. Was it cover design or is that something that's on the list or marketing?
Yeah, we've had sort of what kind of covers, are the most popular. I think we did like cutesy verse models. Yeah.
Yes.
And we've spoken to Brittany Carson about artwork and because she's a fiend for artwork. So, but we've got a huge list of stuff that we would like to do. We just ran out of time, but we'll start again next year, as I'm sure you can understand.
You and me both. Yeah. Like I was saying to people the other yesterday at the Sweet Love Book Fair that I was like, if I had like all the time in the world, I would love to do an episode for the Indie Author Life show like every week or almost like twice a week or something. But it is just not feasible because, as you know, so much work goes into not just the recording, but the more time is spent post for me. Editing, doing all that, and then also researching beforehand. So
absolutely. It's definitely a lot more work than what you think it's going to be when you first start.
Exactly. It is fun to yap. That's like the easiest part.
It is, yeah, for sure. I know. Every time we finish an episode, we're like, oh, they were so cool. Like that was fun. Like it's very rewarding. As soon as you finish the app, you feel really happy about it.
You do. Yeah, I'm glad that you share that high. And even when I listen to every episode that you girls have done, I come away thinking, oh, that was so nice. I feel uplifted now. And I think it's good to have these kind of topics because it feels types of episodes which talk about specific, I guess, shared feelings and struggles, but also triumphs in the indie author space. So this stuff is very important to talk about. But focusing more on you today as an author, I would love to know all about you and your background. So whatever you would like to share with us, can you give us an insight into your background and where you grew up?
Yes, absolutely. So I am a country girl originally. I'm from Rockhampton in central Queensland. So I'm an only child as well. So I lived on a cattle property with my parents until I was about 12 or so. And then I moved between the farm and Brisbane to go to school.
Yeah.
So I sort of lived between there for a little while. I played violin all the way through school. So I was quite musical. And after school, I went and did a diploma in graphic design.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I did that. But unfortunately, it was like around 2011, 2012 when like apps were just starting to come in and like more digital design. So I was more the print design.
Yeah.
So that helps me now, but trying to find work and that wasn't so easy.
That's really hard as someone, I totally get it. And my diploma, like I did that finished it in 2019 for graphic design, and digital was the bread and butter So that's a big contrast to where we were in 2011. So yeah, I totally understand your pain.
Yeah, so I was doing that on and off. I had a few design jobs, but they were either really bad pay or just free, internship sort of things. So I sort of had enough of that, started to work full time. And then, for a few years, I worked at a horse riding school for disabled children and young adults, which was probably one of my most favorite jobs.
Amazing.
It was, and I did a lot of I did their graphic design, and I also looked after the volunteers there. So that was really fun, and I really loved that. And I met some of my best friends for my entire life there. So I had some really great experiences there. So, and then we moved to Adelaide because my husband is in the military. So we now live in Adelaide, and then we're about to live in Canberra in a few months' time.
Wow. So it's something that is, I'm guessing, like always on the cards to move different places, or
somewhat. Yeah. But that's okay. I'm happy for a change, and so that's me. I sort of have moved around a lot throughout my life so far, but one constant has always been music, creativity. Just they're sort of like my big things. And books have come and gone a little bit. Just as they do, they kind of phase out, but definitely in a book stage now.
Oh, yes, you're in your book era. That is for sure. Oh my goodness. I think creativity is something that flows naturally through your veins. I find that so fascinating that you also played violin from a young age. Gosh, there's actually a lot of similarities between us because I started playing clarinet when I was 10, and I, played that all throughout high school. And I much to my parents' probably dismay, the clarinet now sits dormant in my drawers down here. I just don't have the time
No, same. Every now and then I did pick out the violin and play a bit, but it needs new strings. It just needs an overhaul, and I haven't done that yet. But I won't write it off the cards either.
You never forget, I think, as well, because I'm sure you've had to do, like, you've done the music theory and all those, I guess, exams. I'm not sure whether you did. It will never really leave you. Like, you'll always remember the notes and, things like that. So it's something that will be there if you want to come back to. Maybe muscle memory as well. All the
absolutely.
Days practicing and that stuff.
Oh, yes.
I don't miss that. I much preferred to just be playing in bands and groups and stuff at school. That was more like my favorite thing. Doing exams was just like probably the worst part. I hated that. It's so strict. And so anyway, creative expression is what you do. And I am also really glad to hear that you were able to continue doing graphic design in the previous job that you had. I'm guessing it was just the previous one, working at the horse riding school, or it was a school. Yes. Yeah. So do you know how to? Do you know how to ride horses yourself?
I mean, some of my friends have tried to teach me very basic, but nothing like them because some of my girlfriends are teachers, or instructors. So
I love animals. So that is
me too.
Horses are just so beautiful. Love.
It was lovely. I go, just go for walks with them all in their lessons if I felt like going outside. It was great.
That's the best. I think you have had and continue to have an amazing life where you're fulfilling. You're fulfilling your passions and also finding new ways to express them, which is, I guess, in your era now about writing. So that leads me to asking you to share a little bit about what a day in your life looks like, or even a week, or however that might look like, and how writing and book-related stuff fits into your schedule.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do work full time in the private sector, so I am working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. But I do work from home a lot due to my chronic illnesses. I've had to adjust that a little bit,
Mm.
but I'm very lucky. My workplace is very understanding and very kind about my conditions. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky to sort of be quite flexible with that.
Mm.
But I guess a general day would be working. I get up around like 7. Oh, well, I start at 7:30, so I get up about 6. And then I just work from home. So, or I go into the office. So it's always nice to go have chat to people in the office. So I try and go in when I feel up to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I get home, it's about 4 o'clock or so if I've gone into the office, and I usually go for a walk with my husband and our chocolate Labrador. And then we just sort of do all the boring dinner things, getting cooking dinner and all that. And then usually from about, I don't know, 7:30-ish, I'll start doing some book stuff depending on what I'm doing. So
Yes.
I really don't put too long into it because I just can't really sustain it at the end of a work day. So it might just be half an hour to an hour's worth of writing or work on the podcast or something like that. So most days, that's what it looks like. At the moment, I'm not doing much after work because I'm about to publish and I'm just having some time off. Yeah.
You need that time off because you've been working
I
hard.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So I've just been enjoying just having the week sort of just to chill a bit. But most of my book stuff happens on the weekend, really. Saturdays, I batch create all of my marketing.
Smart.
I record the podcast if it's every sort of second week. And then Sunday, I'm usually doing stuff as well. But I
Yeah.
have to kind of remind myself to like, I try and really rest on a Sunday, but yeah, it's hard sometimes.
It's hard to find the rest
Yeah.
because it feels more like something that is enjoyable to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes I forget, like, it is enjoyable, but doing this stuff like is taxing and
Yes. Yeah.
hard. Like, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing because it is hard. It's just that it takes a lot more brain effort than maybe we give ourselves credit for in the moment.
That's right. Yeah, it does. I'm definitely feeling like a little twinge of burnout at the moment just because when I've tried to sort of sit and think of stuff for marketing, like it's just I can't think of anything. And that's usually a sign that I need to sort of take a step back for a little bit until the ideas come back.
I think
Yeah.
so, because as
Yeah.
much as like I was thinking about this today about just random thoughts about the algorithm and social media and having those thoughts where
Mm.
it's just like, geez, I just can't be stuffed to create another graphic today to post on social media. Why do I have to be a slave to this algorithm? So
Yeah.
I think it's more than okay to give ourselves a break because it is fun to create cute graphics and marketing
Mm.
material, especially batch creating. That is very smart. And that is a great tip for everyone out there listening who is thinking about how to market their stuff on social media. Batch marketing is, sorry, batch content creating where you sit down all at once and do everything is very
Mm.
helpful. But also, if you're
Yeah.
not in the mood, it can be very hard.
Yeah, and then at that point, I just make what I can. Like yesterday, when I was trying, I think I made like 3 posts, and I was like, all right, I can't think of anything else, so that's going to be it for next week.
And that is
Yeah,
awesome. That is
yeah,
solid. Like that
yeah,
is more than what I can do. Like, 'cause 3 is probably my batch. So that is
yeah,
excellent that you are doing, even if it is just 3, even if it was just 1 or 2 that you've got a week, awesome. So you are
yeah.
killing it. And actually, what I have noticed is that when I'll give you this as an insight. When I go onto my phone and I go onto my MG Hunt Instagram, your posts will probably be the first that I see. when I enter it. And that is because of your dedication for the marketing. So you have every right to feel a little bit like, oh, can I need to take a break? Because it's working.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
So
sometimes it feels like it's not, but yeah, thank you for that.
It definitely can feel like you're screaming into the void.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it is fickle, I feel, with Instagram algorithms, and it's hard not to fall down I was gonna say the rabbit hole, but like feel like your efforts are not gleaning anything from it. But to that, I would say I think that as indies and even traditionally published authors, dealing with social media marketing is something that is a universally shared struggle. I think that we are all following the textbook advice that we see online as much as we can. And they say for us to post content as often as possible. But even the ones that do post so often maybe don't even feel like they're reaching their full potential of what they expect as well. So there's so much else that goes into it, and it doesn't mean that what you've made is not good. It just means it was something that maybe happened with the algorithm or whatever the time was. It's fickle, so we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. And timing, I think, is everything, but sometimes those suggestions that come up and say, here's when your followers are most active, it's like 3 a.m. So obviously no one, you're not going to do that. But I think the good thing you could take from that would be that is obviously overseas people potentially, and so then you could target it to them. So I try and take what I can from some of the advice that Instagram sometimes throws. Throws us little crumbs.
It does. And whether that's because it's their inbuilt system to be like, this is what we think is good, but would that be the same for TikTok? I don't know. Probably not. Whatever. So as long as you're doing something, you are doing the most in a lot of ways.
I agree. Yeah.
Just do what you can. And I think, Kate, you're doing an excellent job with your marketing. So
thank you.
Everyone needs to check out Kate's Instagram in particular for how to market, particularly Wing Woman, which we'll get into soon enough.
Yes.
So I shall move into another question that I have, which is about what you find is perhaps the hardest part of writing versus the most enjoyable. So let me know your thoughts around that.
Yeah, so I was having a good think about this one because I think for me the hardest part is probably getting those first few bits of feedback. Once you send to an alpha reader or however you do it, because you're in that writing bubble for so long, and you might send it to a couple of friends and they go, oh, that's, we love that or whatever. And you sort of think, okay, I'm good. And then you give it to someone to give you feedback and they give you honest feedback, which is exactly what you need.
Yes.
But I am very sensitive and I still need to learn how to take that feedback better. So I find that the hardest for me, I think, is just those first few little bits of feedback that are constructive and needed. But that definitely bursts that little romantic bubble you've had with yourself, writing. Yeah. So that's something I definitely find the hardest.
So relatable.
Yeah. Do you find that as well?
Oh God, yeah. Well, I'm even like, even before it gets to the point of, how do I put this? I think I'm critiquing myself throughout the entire manuscript. So when it gets to the point where I do receive feedback, I'm already probably in that mindset of going like, I knew it. Oh yeah, no, it's not good. I already knew, not good. And then you just like stay in that kind of depressive. But there is a part where like, I think what I have to do when I am writing is hold on, like, before I get to the editing part and sending it off for honest feedback. I have to hold on to the bubble. I have to hold on to that happiness bubble, because at the end of the day, where I am right now with this manuscript, it is just me and the words. So that is just between us. There isn't no person there besides me telling me, oh, it's bad, this is not going to be good and all that stuff. No, take that little voice out and just enjoy the creative expression of writing, which is probably, I'm guessing, something on your enjoyable part of it as well, I guess.
Yeah, I do have that. I guess I have more about the creative flow, like when I'm writing, and or if I get a fresh idea and I write it down. Like recently I got an idea for like book 4. I think it's going to be book 4, and I wrote the entire outline in like 2 weeks, and it was like 30,000 words in an outline, which was like, I've never done that before. I've tried to write outlines for my other books, but I just got to a certain point and was like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to start writing it, you know?
Yeah.
But this one, I got all the way through to the end, which was insane. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I've been in the flow with that one, and I guess that's one of my favorite things. Like, you sit down to write and it's, 5 o'clock in the hour or something, and then it's 8 o'clock and you're like, what the hell?
Where did that come from?
So I love to experience that creative flow, because that, even with the other creative things that I've done in my life, I never quite felt that before. So that's when I know that this is definitely like my thing. Yeah.
I love that. I think that is so meant to be, as you probably, I don't know whether you know too much about my ethos and things like that, but I truly do believe that books and ideas that are given to you are meant to be written by you, through you. And so when that, I guess, voice or inspiration clicks and you just go straight to the keyboard and just get it out, there is probably no greater feeling, because it feels so like right. I don't know whether you resonate with that, but
I do. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And I think at that point, you don't get too caught up on any of the finer details, just so long as the idea is out of your head, and then you can mold it into what you need it to be. So I think that's the least pressure you can feel writing, is just getting those ideas out.
The least pressure, because it should be like that when we create.
Yeah.
It should be without like inhibitions, and for the sake of getting it out there. And I know that sounds so wishy-washy to be like, you just have to dance like no one's watching and all that, but
it's true though.
It's true.
It is true. Yeah,
like,
it's true.
That's how we start to do this stuff.
That's right. There's plenty of time to critique yourself later. There's plenty of time to read over it and hate it. Yeah.
That comes later. That's fine. We'll leave that for the others to do that.
Exactly.
But it is something that probably comes with experience too, maybe with age as well. I felt like when I was younger, I mean, it's taken me so long to even get to this point from the ideas that I had, even when I was like a teenager, to get to the point of writing. And it really did kind of need to be maybe maturity to kind of set me straight and go, just do it. Forget about these kind of nebulous ideas that you're not good enough to write something. You should just So
I agree. I can't imagine doing this in my early 20s. I wouldn't have felt ready. I wouldn't have felt confident about even myself at that point. So I think a lot of work has to go into ourselves to be able to make that decision to go, okay, I'm going to actually try and publish or do.
Well, it's so interesting that you say that, because I met at the book festival yesterday, the Sweet Love Book Fair. I met these two girls who were 20 years old, and they were saying they were readers, but they were saying that they've both written books. Like, they're two friends that are so cute. Yeah. And they were saying how they were like, oh yeah, we've written books as well. And I was like, oh, you've got to tell me, that's so exciting. One of them was quick to say, exactly what she'd written. And then the other friend next to her was so shy to say
Oh,
what she wanted to say. And I said, that's okay. Like, just, is it a romance? What
yeah,
kind of things are there? And then I was able to draw some stuff out of her. But already
yeah,
I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, you're 20 and you have written a manuscript. And then
yeah. It's
the other
amazing.
the other
Yeah.
friend of the two was like, yeah, and then once uni's over, we're going to be editing. I was like,
Oh,
amazing.
there you go. I love
Uh,
that. Yeah.
so cool. So
Yeah.
more power to them. Yes, there will be
Yeah.
some challenges along the way with all that stuff, shared stuff, indie
Mm.
experiences where you have to deal with critique and all that stuff. But I was like so happy to hear like these 20-year-olds are having like
Yeah.
the
That's
confidence.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I was like that
Yeah.
when I was that
Me
age.
too.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
We're here now, and that's the main thing. Moving into talking about your wonderful next up novel, the next one that is in the publishing pipeline. Let's discuss Swing Woman. And I really love that it is a pilot slash farmer romance. Like, that's quite unique. I might be a novice when it comes to romance novels, but I feel like I haven't heard of a pilot slash farmer romance. If you have, let me know. But you got to let me know what the inspiration was behind this type of romance, Kate.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I was, my dad was a pilot, so we had our own little plane, and we'd go away on our family holidays and stuff. It sounds really bougie, but it's not as bougie as you think.
Still, that is just incredible. I love that. Yeah,
So
awesome.
I grew up around planes. So I've always loved them. And I guess I didn't really plan to really write about the plane aspect, but I was just brainstorming one day that I wanted to have a story where um a female rescues the guy, just to flip that on its head a little bit. And he's more than happy to be rescued, right? I wanted him to be, yeah, you rescue me, I'm good with that. So
Yeah,
I wanted that to be the base of the story.
yeah.
And then I guess the more brainstorming was like, well, I always want to write about Australian based stories and Australian people. So that was the next bit. And then I guess I just kept building on that. And then I thought, well, I know the country because I'm from the country. So I'm going to add that in there. So, and then it just sort of kept building. And I finally got to the bit where, yeah, she's going to be like a RFDS type pilot. I just made up the company in the book. It's not
Yep.
real or anything, but it's kind of roughly based on RFDS.
Yeah. Oh, and can you just let us know what RFDS is, maybe for people who aren't familiar? No, that's all good. Yeah,
Yeah.
just thought in case people are not familiar with what that is.
Yeah. So it's the Royal Flying Doctors of Australia. So
Yes.
yeah, so
Important.
they amazing. They do amazing work, rescuing people and taking sick people to where they need to be.
Yeah.
So I guess I just built on that. I started writing it. Like I said before, I sort of have tried to do outlines for all my books, but it's sort of sometimes the writing just happens.
Yeah.
So I just let it happen with this one.
Love it.
And yeah, I just decided to start it one day, and then it just kept growing. It took a while to write this one just because I've had some challenges, and there were probably points within this story where I was like, oh, I don't think I can finish this. I don't think it's any good. I don't think it's leading anywhere. Some of that negative, self-talk.
The usual imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
Person
yeah,
comes into your
exactly.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just sort of turned a corner with it a little bit, I think. And then, the times that I've been reading it back to myself, I really love it. So,
Yes,
so
cool.
I guess it's a little bit of a insight into maybe some of my struggles and what inspires me, which is, my dad and my husband, he's a pilot, so it's a bit. Yeah, so he helped me with some of the piloty things.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you, when you were meeting, when you met your husband, did you already know that he was a pilot as well, like similar to your dad, or was that just like a happy coincidence? Yeah.
No, well, he actually wasn't at all when I met him. So it was through
Oh,
encouragement, yeah, from my dad that he started to fly. So
nice.
yes,
So
so that sort of came later for him, but he's a flight instructor, so he's
wow.
very, very good. And
Awesome.
yeah, he's always a big inspiration for all of this writing stuff. Like
Yeah.
he's the one that said, just, just do it. Like he's always encouraging me. So
Yeah.
the flying aspect of it, I guess, is a little bit um for him as well. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah, but really the inspiration I think was just to write something a little different that there's a few themes of grief in there.
Mm.
Charlie, the main character, he has to overcome a lot of grief,
Yeah.
and he has to sort of face a few things because he has a helicopter crash and that's how they meet. So he's got
Mm.
a lot of trauma that he's trying to work through. So they have a few obstacles in their way. So it's probably a little bit more serious than
Mm.
uh, my other two books, but it's still cozy and fluffy as a whole.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks into some different themes that I haven't quite talked about yet. So yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
Mm.
And I think that's really great
Yeah.
that you're exploring some stuff that is super real and explores the human experience through romance. I think that can be a
Mm.
really good vessel to touch on some heavy topics, even
Yeah.
though the genre of romance is perceived to be more lighthearted. But
Yeah.
really, it's important to talk about, all the imperfections that come with two people coming together and
Exactly. Yeah.
how you can
Yeah.
overcome.
Exactly right. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I
Mm.
really appreciate your attention to subverting stereotypes with the not only the damsel in distress that is now the opposite. There is no damsel in
No.
distress. There is
Mm-mm.
Charlie in distress. That's the new
Exactly.
farmer in
It's its own
distress.
genre. Yeah. Yeah.
New trope there.
That's right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also as female pilots, that
Mm.
is really important because, like, on a side note, I've often like said just on the fly. Um, I would love to be a pilot. I love driving. So I was like, I just feel like there in another lifetime, maybe that would be something that I would do because the idea of
Yeah.
traveling on a plane, like I'm not really the best, like, what do you call it? Sitting in economy as a passenger. I'm just like,
No. No, that's fair enough.
and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to be the one driving this thing. I want to be the one, sitting up there
Yeah.
looking at the clouds. So
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that's what excites me about your book, to live out.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean,
Yeah.
since my dad passed, I hadn't been in planes a lot like I used to be when I was younger, but I have gone up with my husband a couple of times, and that's always been nice. It feels like a little sort of nod to my childhood a little bit, just going
Yeah.
for a nice fly for whatever reason. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's I get it. Yeah, I get that, and I love seeing more women sort of coming into aviation as well because it
Yes.
takes a lot to
Yep.
get to that point. So,
A lot of
yeah,
work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dealing in a male dominated industry is
yeah,
never easy.
exactly.
And I think the more that we can subvert stereotypes, especially in romance novels, which kind of can be, and maybe this is just a personal opinion, but I feel like they are probably the most stereotypical out of all the genres they can be. Strict
Yeah,
contemporary romance,
yeah.
subverting stereotypes is incredibly important. So I applaud you for doing that, Kate. That's really
Oh,
important
thank
to
you.
have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. You
Mm.
know that to some degree the story will be a little bit predictable, right? Because it
Hmm.
is romance and
Hmm.
it's not advertised as something that has a dark ending or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I think there's no reason why we can't, yeah, fight some of those stereotypes along the way.
That
Yeah.
exactly well said. There's no reason to not include the character in this role or make her have this occupation. I think that
Mm,
when I approach My writing as well, but in my graphic design practice for designing characters and all that kind of stuff, I do try to think, well, why not have this particular person exhibiting this role? Why not do that?
Yeah.
There's no reason not to, truly.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's one of the beauties about self-publishing as well. You know, it is up to you and you can do what you want. And so that's, you know, I think it's much more powerful to be able to explore what you want to explore and be able to put that out in the world rather than have somebody else go, oh, well, actually, that doesn't suit, you know. Yeah. Will it sell? Yeah. No. Exactly.
Which is the best thing. And you never know what young girl might pick this up. Well, I know, like within the age range of who the book is dedicated
a young
to.
girl over 18. Yes.
That's right. Who's just starting their university. What do I do? This is cool to read about something maybe I'm interested in aviation.
Yeah. Well, that would be amazing.
It would be.
Absolutely.
But the more books that are out there that give that opportunity, like the old saying, you cannot be what you cannot see in media.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
This is awesome. So it very much deserves to be something that is like a reference point for breaking stereotypes, Wing Woman.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So comparing Wing Woman to some of your previous publications. So, for example, we've got Side Stage, which is a musician-themed romance. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, rock star romance.
Oh, rock star, yes. Very cute. We love that. And we've got Jumpstart, which is racing, car racing.
Yeah, it's a GT racing, so the GT World Challenge Championship. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we've got those under your belt.
Yes.
I'm wondering, what are some similar themes that appear in those previous publications? Maybe also you can talk about maybe some different themes as well, and how does it compare to Wing Woman, in your opinion?
Yeah, so I guess some of the similarities are that the characters all learn to improve themselves in some way along the way. And they don't necessarily need each other to be better. They just end up together, but they're on their own path still. And I think that's important in what I want to write. I still want to write people who are their own person, who fell in love with something, that happened to just fall in love with someone. Because in my life, you know, we are our own people, but we are there for each other, you know. So I love that kind of, that encapsulates to me a healthy relationship. And I like to explore that in my stories. So I think that would be they coexist, but they support each other in their lives. So that's, I think, throughout all three of my books and other work in progresses. And then I guess the differences would be more in Wing Woman. I am, like I mentioned before, discussing grief and things that are a little bit heavier, whereas in Side Stage, that, you know, I was very green when I wrote that. So I was I didn't want to try and write too much spice. I didn't want to do too much. I just wanted it to be an easy read, and I guess I didn't really delve too much into anything too heavy with that one. And then I was getting a little bit more confident with Jumpstart. So in that, again, they're all specifically the challenges to the people in those worlds, you know, like being the partner of a singer or a race car driver would be hard in many aspects, I think.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know. But yes, I guess that's the differences. This one really is quite unique in what I talk about and how I talk about it, as opposed to how I have in the past. Yeah.
Very interesting. So it's kind of progressively getting more, maybe dark, probably isn't the word, but becoming a little bit more like you're making a concerted effort to talk about serious themes more. Wing Woman, not like probably what you wrote about in like Side Stage, for example, didn't have
Yeah.
serious themes, but as you
No.
probably preferred to start off with, keeping it a little bit on like the enjoyable part. Whatever
Yeah.
you think
Just
is,
on the
yeah.
easy read side. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a
yeah.
palate cleanser. I like to
Palate
call,
cleanser.
I mean, all my books are probably a palate cleanser to some degree, but that one in particular really is a palate cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah, just like a
Yeah.
passion, like, I just want to write this. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just had that idea for a long time, but I never really wrote it down. I just thought about it on and off for a long time. So that
Yeah.
one was really my first thing that I've really written down properly in a very long time. So yeah,
It's meant to be. You had the
yeah.
idea, you had to get it out there. So,
Hmm.
was there any particular media that inspired your romance novels that you've written? Say, for example, all I can think of when I thought of Jumpstart, and this is probably completely wrong because I don't know the ins and outs of car racing, but I thought of that Netflix
Yeah.
show, is it Drive to Survive? And I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I wonder if there's like, I don't know, a link to that in some way, but that's also my novice understanding about that stuff. So I don't know whether
Yeah.
there's been particular media or songs or movie that have inspired like Wing Woman as well. I don't know. Has that been the
Uh,
case?
well, Uh, well, Jumpstart, for example, I have always watched like the V8 Supercar Championships in Australia since I was a kid. So I
Yep.
always loved that. So I was actually going to write that about that. And I started to comment on reels and things in that space. And, you know, some of the comments were like, don't quit your day job, little girl. Like, get out of this space. What are you doing in here? So I was sort of like, you know what, if I'm going to be commenting and trying to engage with this niche, I don't feel like dealing with that. So I changed it
No.
to GT racing. Yeah, which actually I preferred in the end because it was a much safer space to engage in, and it was a lot funner to watch those races in more detail and learn something new about that. So that's sort
Interesting.
of where that came from.
Cool.
And then Wing Woman, not so much anything in particular. I guess Paperback Hero was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. So I guess the female pilot aspect, maybe a little bit from that. But apart from that, nothing really.
No, more
I
from
just had the
your life.
idea, really. Yeah, yeah, just from my life. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
So,
Going back
yeah.
to if you have any thoughts around that for um, Side Stage, was there any
Mm.
particular music that inspired or like a rock idol or something like that that influenced the creation of that romance?
I think really for that one was more, I was thinking about like what it would feel like to be the partner of someone that was traveling like that.
Yeah.
And Vaughn, who is the male lead in that book, he is an amalgamation of all of my favorite singers
Love
in
that.
voice, tone, looks. He's kind of a mush together of all of my
Love it.
favorite singers. So I guess for
Perfect.
me personally, that was just a little like note to my younger self because I loved music so much. I just wanted to put all my favorite things are
Yeah.
in that book. Winter, autumn, coffee, red
Oh,
wine,
red wine.
fireplaces. Like it's literally is just all of the things that I love in that book.
So
Yeah,
cool. I really
yeah,
love to hear that.
yeah.
Media and music is something that really does inspire, I guess
Mm,
inspire, but also help to set the tone for what
mm,
I write. Maybe sometimes it's a little bit harder with music to find it exactly how it matches up with fantasy writing, like
yeah,
contemporary music. But there's an overlap, and I still
yeah.
look to that for inspiration anyway. But I often feel like, yeah, it's interesting how you talked about like childhood movies and that
Mm,
kind of stuff because definitely a big influence for my novel Still Waters Run Deep was Avatar: The Last Airbender because of the
mm,
magic elemental magic element from it. So it is really interesting how media from younger ages can have such a profound impact into how our creativity starts to morph itself and express itself into what we want to create.
Some things really stay with you. Like I was like, I couldn't do like anything without listening to music in my teens, and I just like, I loved it so much that for me, it was more of a progression from like my parents' music, like, Fleetwood Mac and like stuff like that, Crowded House. And then I sort of went, oh, I'm a teenager, I'm angry. And then I sort of went into Nirvana and then Metallica, and then it's just like progressively gotten heavier over the years. But
the emo phase,
that's big one. So yeah, I've just always loved music. So
I'm gonna have to send you a DM about my old hairstyles that I used to have.
I'm sure I could send you some as well. Yeah, absolutely.
From the emo side of things. But yes, I really love how music has been a big influence in your life, because it is an awesome thing to get involved with. So kudos to you. Awesome.
Thank you.
So if I could ask you another question about your life and experience, I would love to get into one of your recent posts that you made on Instagram, which I very much appreciated, and I think it did resonate with a lot of people, which was how you discuss the ways on how you can nourish your creativity, which I love that phrasing as well, like to look after your creativity when dealing with chronic illness. And I'm wondering if you can give us more of an insight into how important it is to look after your own overall well-being while being a self-published author and working full-time, because it's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, to be honest. But I guess, in the last 2 years, I've been diagnosed with two things that have literally changed the trajectory of my life. So one of them was, it's dealt with now, but there's still consequences. And then the second one is, it's pretty much like POTS. It's just not officially POTS, but so after I got diagnosed, the symptoms seemed to be a lot worse, and I still couldn't do anything much because I was grieving. A lot of grief involved, and I still have it, but I'm working through it. But I guess I just was thinking, if I can't sit down and write, what else, if I don't feel like it, because sometimes the nausea is so bad that I can't, all I can do is lie down. So what can I do if I'm lying down? I can at least visualize. So I just put that post together thinking of what do I do when I feel that way. So I guess I talked to some other people as well, other indie authors that have chronic illnesses, and just check in. And I guess in terms of looking after your own well-being, I think you have to listen to your body. Like if something doesn't feel right to you, because that's what I did. I ignored everything for a very long time. So don't ignore the way you feel. If you're trying to write and you've got a headache, you feel exhausted, you step away, because the pressures that exist on Instagram, particularly the comparison and the pressure, can be really stressful. And why are we stressing ourselves out for something that is completely in our control, which is something that I'm only really learning somewhat this year. I used to really stress about, oh, my numbers are terrible, like no one's seeing anything, but you can't do that, because your health suffers. And I'm here to say I ignored my health through working at a stressful job a few years ago, and I'm paying the consequences. So I guess listen to your body. Make sure you give yourself time off and enjoy life, because tomorrow could be a flare day and I'll struggle. So you just really have to be grateful when you are feeling okay, because I'm sure a lot of people listening that have chronic illness, like it can be really fleeting, those good days. So why do you want to spend those days stressing? So I guess that's what I wanted to try and get across with that post was even if you just visualize something, you can at least tick that off your list for the day. And that can be enough. So
it's more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've really got to look after yourself, because there's sometimes it seems like some people are doing not much with their books, but they're having a lot of page reads and sales, and you're like, yeah, I'm doing so much. And then you've got to sort of be like, no, you sort of got to stop yourself from listening to that voice. But I'm sure a lot of people hear that voice a lot with this journey.
It's all there. It's hard to, I think we are so conditioned to be people that are going and going and going in this world that we have, the capitalist hellscape that we live in, that productivity is seen as morally good, but also like you are doing, the best thing for yourself if you are producing. When at the end of the day, the best thing that we are doing for ourselves is looking after ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
Nothing else to really extrapolate from that. You have to look after yourself. And
yeah, you do.
Yeah, I really appreciate all that you shared before there, Kate, because I know that will resonate with a lot of people. It's excellent advice and very candid.
Thank you.
It's very candid of you to open up and share that. So I really appreciate that. Previously in my health journey, I did deal with insomnia for a lot of my life, and thankfully, I'm on
that's bad. Yeah,
on the good now.
Good.
Many years of doing that. So all I could do was lie and think and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So what you talk about it was so helpful for me looking at that. I was like, yes, love it. Because we need to stop equating what we put out publicly as being more worthy than the work that's put behind it. And at the end of the day, it should be an enjoyable experience for us to create.
Be. Yeah, exactly.
In theory.
Yeah. In theory, to some degree. Yeah.
Some degree. Because as you said, a flare-up could happen.
Yeah.
And then you go, if I am feeling good, I want to make it an enjoyable experience for myself in any way, shape or form. So forget about the small stuff. And I think sometimes people that have been through hell and back do not sweat the small stuff as much as others. So you hate that an experience like that does that to people, but it's one thing to take from it is that we are here and now to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing all that, Kate. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to hear that experience. So I should start to wrap this wonderful chat up because I need to let you get back to your day and I will stop yapping. So
you're just too good at yapping.
I'm too good at yapping. You all, better watch out when you're on the chat next. Everyone watching, watch out. Where can people find you on social media? And also, where can people purchase your books?
Yes. So social media, I'm Kate_Louise_author. And you can also find me and Laura, my editor, at the Grumpy Sunshine podcast. It's all one word. So we're both there. And then my books, you can get them, you can get all the paperbacks except for Side Stage will be on Amazon. And ebooks, of course, on Amazon as well. But Side Stage you buy just straight through me, just the way it worked out. But also through my website, you'll be able to get all 3 books in the next couple of weeks. So that's KateLouiseAuthor.com. Yep. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. And the release date for Wing Woman, remind me what that date is again.
27th of October.
Mark it in your calendars. Mark that, because it's going to be exciting.
And like anyone who reads it, like please message me, because I just love talking about my characters with people. I love it. It's great.
Please do. You heard it here. Reach out to Kate. She won't shy from DMs.
No way.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. And finally, also, I was going to ask, are you going to be in any in-person events in the future? Maybe next year?
No, probably not. Not just because I'm trying to work through what my energy levels are. And I think, because I was going to be in Sweet Love and I was going to be in a romantic adventure, but unfortunately I had to pull out of both, which was really upsetting, but it's just what's best for me at the moment. But I hope so in the future.
Yes. I think in the future we will see you at some in-person events, but no problem at all, because you're online. So
I am.
You're
probably too much.
Aren't we all? Oh my God.
Yeah.
We've got you on Instagram and your website. Do you have Threads? Yes. Is that one of them as well?
I did, but I got rid of it because I was just sick of the negativity on there, to be honest. So I just deleted it. Yeah, it was too much. Yeah, every time you open it, there's some drama on there. Yeah.
Because it's like a text-based social media forum as well. It just feels like everyone's just got their 2 cents, and you're like, where's the nuance?
Exactly right.
But anyway.
Exactly.
So those are the major ones that people can contact you through: Instagram and your website, which then would lead you to your email. So
exactly right. Yes.
And the Grumpy Sunshine podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
After you've listened to this episode, please go over to Grumpy Sunshine podcast and binge all their episodes, or start binging their episodes and then listen to this one, please. Got to listen to both, because there's lots of information.
Do both.
Yep. There's lots of important information over on the Grumpy Sunshine podcast related to the author journey, and even for readers as well. You'll find some wonderful interviews with some maybe of your favourite authors too.
Yeah.
So you're doing an amazing job, Kate. I'm very inspired by all you do.
Oh,
truly.
Thank you.
For someone who, if I was to write a romance novel, I would want to emulate what you're doing, because subverting stereotypes is very important to me. So I'm very impressed with what you're doing. So
thank you.
Continue to thrive in this space, because you are on such a high with so many things that I have seen. And thank you so much for sharing all your wonderful insights about your author life on the show today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. You're a friend of the show. Thank you so much for watching the Indie Author Life show. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to know more about my own literary journey, or the journey of some of our guests that you might have seen on the show, please consider subscribing or following my Substack or my YouTube channel. Finally, if you want to know more about my novel, Still Waters Run Deep, it is available on many distribution websites such as Amazon, Etsy, Baventi, you name it. All that information will be in the show notes if you're interested in learning more about my story to do with elemental magic and coming of age. Take care, everyone, and see you in the next episode.